to the GSTL right now. NS Hosa and Tassadar are up 1-0, but TLO, the little one, he has gotten into that booth, and it is time for him to show his stuff. Look at his facial expression. He looks a little bit nervous, but I think he also looks very ready.
Yeah, he's just calming himself down. He's one of those players that will try to approach every competitive game with a certain mental attitude, just preparing mentally for the match. And look at him smiling here. He's like all zen right now.
He is all about that stretch behind the head with his arms. He is into that.
Yeah.
You know, TLO, I think, may have been the most successful pro gamer to ever not have trimmed facial hair. I think that's probably the case.
I'm currently thinking about another one that didn't shave his.
The only one maybe I could think of is Goody. Like, sometimes he doesn't shave his facial hair either. That's the only other player I could think of. Ironically, both from Germany. I don't know.
Goody?
Yeah.
Did he have a huge beard at some point?
Yeah, I think so. All right, let's see if TLO can tie up the series here, and NS Hosa against Team Liquid at the GSTL.
Another Protoss versus Zerg. Here, Team Liquid against NS Hosa to the top left of Fahana in the yellow. It's the Protoss player known as
NS Hosa Tassadar.
NS Hosa Tassadar. He just defeated Zenio and now he is up against another Zerg. This is, by the way, something that won't happen all that often, that a team will decide to choose the same race against an opponent who just beat one of your players.
Yep.
But here he is at the bottom right. It's the German player for the Team Liquid team. It is
Liquid TLO.
Liquid TLO, the little one. What?
I don't know, man. It's kind of scary.
I didn't get the joke. I didn't see it.
When you touch, you will be the... There's like a, I guess it's supposed to be censored, but it starts with a P. I'm not sure. But just don't touch TLO. I think that's the moral of the sign. That's like the lesson that should be learned here.
Yeah, he's actually called the little one because he has an older brother that he started playing with, and his idea is the big one.
Yep. And that's something a lot of people forget, that TLO actually does stand for something. Forge goes down first for Tassadar. Pool is well on its way for TLO. It's not going to have any problem cleaning up this pylon and getting his hatch down.
We talked a little bit about his games against Inca, and I want to stress this once again. What we saw against Inca, what TLO did, was that he attacked his opponent at 3 to 4 times at once. It was really impressive to watch. Some of those units were maybe not controlled perfectly well, but the main thing that he did is he started to send overlords in his opponent's base. They dropped. At the same time, he attacked the third, he attacked the natural, and he just had units everywhere. Later on, when his opponent was already stressed out and like really scared about the style that he used, this aggressiveness, he just sent a few overlords without anything at all in his opponent's main base, faked a drop while drew the units away from the third, attacked the third with full force. It's just this faking out that he uses that really impressed me in his qualified matches against Inca. And if you see this today, then I'm so curious to experience how his opponent, how Tassadar is going to deal with it.
Yeah, you're right. You know, this map specifically is not the best one for drops, but you can do drops here. The problem with this map is that there's only one side of the main that's exposed for drops. Otherwise, you have to go straight through the natural with your drops. You can't really go... There's not a lot of space above the natural, so you can't kind of fly around and go through that location. We do see double hatch going down very quickly here for Zenio, or excuse me, for TLO. And Tassadar has not been able to scout the second hatchery, and he will be cleaned up. Double gas cancel after the probe was killed. That's really interesting.
Yeah, he sees the scout gets in, he takes it to extractor, and as soon as Tassadar comes in, he pulls him away, but he cancels them.
He is just so smart with his scouting. He just does not. He's not going to take anything to chance. He's like, well, could be, but I want to make sure 100%. And I like that. I can really respect that. Core going up here for very normal timing for Tassadar as well. And the Overlord Scout is already moving into position for TLO. He wants to find out what type of first move we're going to see from Tassadar, who is now sending his probe again through the natural, and the Queen did not spot him, so he will actually come, and now he will see the gases have been cancelled.
Yeah, he's moving in here, and now he spots it. And he's like, oh, look at that. No gas at all. And this allows him to be a little bit more aggressive. As soon as you realize your opponent is getting double gas, you will know he's probably going for speed a little bit faster than I expected. He will try to get speed out. I can't harass him with my stalkers. I can't move out on the map because I will always risk to lose 1 or 2 units, and that will put me way behind. I don't have map control anymore. I can't put pressure on my opponent. So let's just stay put for now. And how is Tesla going to approach this? He's heading right for the Twilight Council.
Yeah, very quick Twilight Council. And the question is, what will that be for? With no +1 coming out here,
is he pulling in
it may be DTs. Yeah, I think it's going to be DTs because nothing else really makes sense. It could be like some super fast upgradeless blink push, but that's just, I mean, that's never been seen before off 2 bases. I can't imagine that's what's going to be. He knows his opponent has late gas, will have no lair, and will only be able to rely on Spore Crawlers for this, if he can even make them at all. TLO has positioned his Overlord at the left side, like I mentioned earlier, to come and scout the main.
Blink. It is actually Blink.
Oh, wow.
And he saw it. He spotted the Twilight Council. This is a really fast Blink here.
It's super fast. And this is going to be an attack that may just occur with 5 or 6 gateways, starting to add more gates in his main. But it's not going to have any attack upgrades, which I think is a little bit weird.
Usually when you have this push with the Blink Stalkers, it's always followed also up by +2 attack. You start with a +1. He could have tried just to hide it, you know? Just not get the upgrades, which always indicate, okay, if you see the upgrade, you know there is something evolving around gateways happening. And as the Forge is part of the wall, and there's no problem for you to always scout it. So he might have just tried to hide it. He's now just starting the +1 attack upgrade, but this means that he won't have the time to get +2 before he attacks.
You're right. He does have a forward probe he can use to make a pylon to begin the attack right as these 4 gateways finish. He can go with a small amount of stalkers. His opponent now, of course, TLO getting that lair out, has a Roach Warren as well, has not made any roaches, and if the attack hits before speed is done, which it could potentially do, then if he has no speed and no roaches, even with 26 Zerglings on the way, it's going to be really hard to hold a push like this. Just depends on if he goes for it or not, and he is making a pylon, but I don't know if he's actually going to commit. He's making sentries back at home right now. It looks like he's not. He's got a Robo, which of course is necessary for transitioning into a normal game. Oh, okay. It's been decided, man. He's getting a Warp Prism right now. We all know what this means. It's going to be a blink into the main with Force Fields to block out any reinforcements.
He's pulling an Ace here.
Yep.
That's what Ace did, and it was so successful for Ace. You get the Blink Stalkers, you move in, you have the Warp Prism supporting you, you drop the sentries onto the high ground, you draw your opponent out with the Stalkers first, and then you set the Force Fields in place, and the Blink Stalkers blink up in the main, and you have your entire force safe and secure. Your opponent is trapped on the low ground, and that's what you bank on.
TLO has a lot of Zerglings out on the map right now, and this could prove to be a problem. Although several of them will be taken out for free here, will he actually commit with the rest of them? This is so tense, man. This type of all-in is, I think this is the most technical all-in we have ever seen in StarCraft 2.
Something that helps him, though, is the Infestation Pit. If he gets the Infestors out and can use Infested Terrans or Fungals to capture the sentries, even when the Force Fields are already in place, it's going to be tough. And here comes the Warp Prism. He's moving in. He's been spotted. And the Lynx, they try to get in here. They target down the sentries, but is it? No, it's not fast enough. Nice micro here by Tassadar, and Liquid TLO has a huge problem.
Yep, he's going for a big counterattack. There's a second Photon Cannon finishing up. He has a ton of sentries available there, even a full wall up on his side. This counterattack is not likely going to work. He's making 2 Baneling nests right now. That's going to be, one of them will be helpful, but yeah, he's definitely in panic mode. The Force Fields are going to buy a ton of time back at home. The cannon's doing damage, and he can just infinitely force field this ramp, warp in more sentries if he wants to.
He's going for a Nidus. He's going for a Nidus network here. He's getting more Zerglings. He's going for drop, Overlord speed, Overseers, more Lings, Spine Crawlers at the low ground. He already rebuilds his pool, even before it has been killed or targeted. I really like this. He's not trying to save the drones. He's just trying to get mining going, because he knows that the chances of him losing everything are basically, well, it's going to happen.
Right now, the coverage of the bases for Tassadar is so good. No Nidus will go unspotted in his main. A forward Nidus may be able to work, but there's no way any other building will be hidden.
Moving in. That's exactly what he tries here, Wolf. He's moving in with the Overseer. He's trying to set the Nidus network. Here we go. Is he going for it? He's doing it. He's doing it. Will Tassadar see it though? TLO is attacking at the front. He's trying to make sure that his opponent does not pay attention to his main base. There is no mob in. There are no units.
Yeah, he's not spotting it. He doesn't know. Now he knows. He knows.
It is too late.
Here they come. The Zerglings are coming out.
A second one.
He is going for units. I don't know. These units are coming out so slowly. I think he may be able to hold here. There are no Banelings just yet, and it looks like he will, in fact, hold.
Yeah, he actually kills the second one, and thanks to the Immortals, he's able to take out the first Nidus network within seconds.
And now he's just tearing through the rest of these Spine Cars, going into the natural. TLO is in a lot of trouble, blinking against the drones, warping in additional Zealots. I can't imagine.
Position by Tassadar here on the ramp. He makes sure that the Zerglings are not able to surround the Stalkers. He protects the Warp Prism, warps in additional units, and these Zealots, they are upgraded with +1. They tear through the Zerglings with the support from the Stalkers. TLO on 65 supply against Tassadar, who's up with 132, a well-executed build by the NSOSA player, and it looks like a second Zerg will die here.
GG, the second Zerg does indeed die. Tassadar off to a great start today. You know, the Blinkstalker Sentry Drop all-in is, like I said before, I think it may be the most technical all-in in StarCraft 2 right now, but it works so often. In fact, I don't think I've ever seen it fail. It's so strong, so powerful. If it goes unscouted, it is basically an auto loss. I mean, TLO tried to do everything. He took 6 different ideas and put them together at one.
He reacted immediately. Yeah. He saw it and he realized, okay, this is going to be bad. He did not pull his drones away because he wanted to get as much mining out of them as possible. He started with attack on the low ground. He built his pool, his second pool, even before the first one was attacked. He got Baneliness. He just tried to go for the Nidus network. And this is really, really tough to hold. If it's executed well, then suddenly everything goes downhill.
Yeah. I'm wondering what Team Liquid is feeling now. How are they going to move forward? If they had a plan, that plan is now... There's got to be a plan B, because plan A...
did not work.
It's not working out. So what will be the next player? Will they try to PvP now? Is now the time to do this? Because Tassadar has shown pretty good PvT in the past. And again, he's got a great, strong late game, but his all-ins, those are the scariest parts. That's what you want to be afraid about with this guy. I mean, he's obviously shown a great all-in in the second game here. The first game, he just played kind of straight up. He had a nice timing. But in the second game, that was a super technical all-in build. He crushed him. TLO just died. What will you do against this guy next? I don't think you want to send Jinro out here. Do you want to send another Zerg out? Absolutely not. Do you want to use Tasia yet? I don't think so. So I think might be Hero now.
We'll find out right away as we see the Team Liquid bench. They've been discussing for a while.
Oh, it is going to be Tasia. Wow. Sending him out right away.
It's time for Tasia. And Tassadar is like, yeah, bring it.
Tassadar, very, very strong Protoss, but Tasia, I think, definitely more known. Has gotten better results in the individual leagues recently.
He's in Codes.
Yeah, I mean, that's all you can say. I'm building up to that, and you're just like, he's a Codes. I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah, that's right. Basically, yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, man. A Terran versus Protoss is coming up next. And we will find out if it's Tasia who ends the reign of Tassadar against Zerg. He played really well here.
Yep, Tasia used to be on the team Zenex, formerly, one of their ace players, in fact. And I remember his first appearance on Slayers, he all-killed his old team. Now he's playing for Team Liquid. He's a man of many teams, many talents. His win rate against Protoss is 65% in Korea. That is a pretty good record. Winning his most recent match against Tassadar, 2-0, in fact. So that's something to note. Kind of a good choice there if he feels comfortable against this guy. And this actually occurred about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, Tassadar must feel like, okay, I am going to take revenge for what he did to me.
He's going to go ahead and eliminate the map Antigua Shipyard as well here, picking it right away. And in TVP, I think that's okay. It's not really favoring one race or another, but it means that later on, when they use HeyPro, his opponent, if HeyPro wins a match, you're not going to be able to try to snipe HeyPro using this map.
Setting up the gear, Tasia is getting ready here. And we will find out if he is able to secure the first point for Team Liquid. And as Sosa is up 2 games, it's not going to be easy for Team Liquid to claim victory on this Team L. And guys, don't forget, the loser today is out.
Out. Totally out. This is such a tense moment for Team Liquid. They need Tasia to come through here. Tassadar in his booth. Will his reign of success, his reign of terror, continue here in his match against Liquid? Let's find out on Antigua Shipyard in the GSTL 2012 Season 2 with Caldor and Wolf.